about them taking the fight from me. So with a victory over Canelo, I think not only does it kind of erase or, put a new idea in fans' mind that, well, maybe this kid is the best, He's proven himself against a guy who actually beat Triple G. So, and then I can give Triple G the rematch and then finally prove to the world that I'm better than he is.
Throughout this media tour, you kind of relished in the underdog role. Has that felt good? I remember in the New York City stop, you really, you loved it. You loved every second of being the quote-unquote underdog. Does that feel like a welcome role for you?
You know what it is? It's just, I just love energy. And regardless to the fans rooting for Canelo, I kind of just, or if they're booing me, I take it and I use it as fuel. So, yeah, I mean, I've definitely embraced the underdog. Thank you, Scooter. Yeah.
Hey, Scooter, come in. You want to?
Everybody, this is Scooter. He's gonna make sure that he gets some shit.
I love you. I don't need this right now, Scooter.
That was good. Take a little?
Yeah, no.
But I'm sorry.
You're saying the energy of the underdog role is really appreciated from fans.
Yeah. So no, the energy that the fans bring, whether it's rooting for me or rooting for Canelo or even booing me, I take it and I use it as fuel. Because I just like for people to be chanting. I like for people to be roaring. I like for the house to be just, through the roof. That fuels me. So whether or not the energy is for me, I'm going to use it as my fuel.
Last thing is, you mentioned that, beating Canelo on May 4th will kind of wipe away the Triple G controversial thing, right? So if that happens and you have your hand raised, you can't look back.
No. I mean, I never look past any fighter, but I was gonna say it's absurd how Golovkin and his team was always saying how people were so fearful of facing them and that they were in it for the love of the sport and that they wanted to fight the best. Now, me getting a victory over Canelo, you would think that they would want a rematch, but we heard it out of their own mouths that they still wouldn't want the rematch if I was to beat Canelo. They still would want to face Canelo. So in that aspect, we also see that boxing is a business and that they're looking for the biggest paydays that they can possibly get because I would have proven that I am the best. And I have all the belts at that particular time when it happens. And for him to still look in another direction just shows you exactly the impression that I left on him that night before.
Do you take that as a slight or a compliment? It could be.
Oh, it's a compliment. Oh, for sure. It's a compliment because I've always known in the back of my mind that Triple G know he lost that fight. I could see it in his eyes when they gave him the decision. And he hasn't really been vocal ever about giving me the rematch. It's always just been small talk or wiping it under the rug. So for me, I just want to make sure that I not only fight Golovkin again and prove the naysayers wrong, but prove to him that he knows that I'm the best fighter and I'm better than he is.
This is the last thing. What has been the hardest part of this particular training camp? Perhaps in introducing new wrinkles that you haven't necessarily done before?
I haven't really done anything majorly different than any other camp that I've had. We just had a lot of guys who spar kind of similar to Canelo's style. And I've kept my camp here in New York City. We have everything that we need here in this facility at Competitive Edge Athletics. I've been training here for the last, say, 5 to 6 years, and this is the biggest fight that we had. I wanted to make sure that I was home and can be in New York and still feel like it is New York, and go out to Las Vegas and make history.
Can you bring a slice of Brooklyn with you for your entrance?
Absolutely. I'm going to go to Brownsville because we leave tomorrow. So I'm going to go to Brownsville to make sure I get most of that love that that I was raised on and feel that energy, so I can go out and conquer the world. Because it's where I'm from, it's Brooklyn versus everybody.
I keep saying last question, but do you do that before mostly fights? Go to
No,
Browns
I
or so-
don't. I
no.
don't. I've done it for big fights before. I've done it for the Golovkin fight, but this will probably be the second time that I actually purposely go back to Brownsville to get some of that love, to see my neighborhood, see my revisit where I'm from, to see where it all started, just to feel lively, to go back out and, like I said, conquer the world, because I really feel like this is an opportunity for me to fulfill my dreams. This is my one shot.
Does that clear your mind when you go back home, or what does that do for you?
It clears my mind. Most importantly, it just motivates me. Like I said, history in Brownsville, just Brooklyn alone, it's really hard to describe it, but if you're not from there, you would never understand. So for me, just to go back and get most of that love, and to get that energy, get that vibe, go back out to Vegas, I mean, it's going to be priceless.
And you do that today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.